your edits suck because your songs suck. Okay, I genuinely believe you can make good edits. Like even you, yes, you little unemployed goblin who doesn't know how to edit. And by like edit, I mean like have the mechanical skill for doing stuff like color grading or cutting stuff out to put text behind them or like the big special effects. Just things that add to production quality. Because even if you have all of that, the foundation of edits is how can you elevate the experience? How do you add to this piece of media by putting stuff onto it? And even if you don't have the like technical know-how to do fancy stuff, you can still pick good audio. And in my opinion, good audio is like 60% of the way to a banger edit. So okay, easier with an example. Since a lot of the new people here are from the Jakura video, we'll start there. And if you don't know the lore, I will be explaining along the way, but for the first edit, I'd argue it's even better if you actually don't know anything. This is the GOAT Mickey versus edit of like the first Jakura one, which is, in my opinion, the best Jakura edit of all the edits, because I think the ones that become like iconic in communities are ones that serve as both like a great summary and an introduction for people who see it. The song of choice is how do you pronounce this guy's name? Jake? How do you, I don't know anyway. I'm gonna say Jake. Jake's Her, and yes, the etherealness of the beat does add to the vibe, but for the purposes of this video, we're more concerned with what the words are imparting onto the viewers. So the edit starts with the lyrics: fell in love but it left me lonely, tried to trust but it burned me slowly, I didn't know what I was looking for. With just what the words are saying, this is going to be an edit about how being in love has hurt whoever it's about, accompanied with the visuals of our main character being this alien muffa over here, Jason the Ween. He's a Twitch streamer who blew up farming parasocial content, so obviously it's highlighting the fact that ET over here has met and even had relationships with a lot of girls. But eventually, because of whatever reason, content or something, it eventually ends in heartbreak. The editing of this also serves to show us which relationships are the most significant. During the line, I didn't know what I was looking for, the edit cuts through a bunch of clips of a lot of different girls. This reinforces just how many times Jason has done this parasocial farm gimmick, but because of the way it's like cut together, the fact that these girls only get a like word or two, while the two girls at the start get a whole line to themselves, mean the editor is establishing that these girls at the start are the ones that are most important to the lore. To the first time viewers, this might go over your head, but when you're editing for a fandom, it's important to put a lot of if you know you knows, so that people who are really invested in this get this little like dopamine kick of, oh, I know that reference. So the first girl was Jason's only real girlfriend who he met on stream, and they had a very public breakup, and the second one was the latest girl who a lot of people really shipped him with, but it's basically just really good references for people that know. Now, this all culminates in the final lyric of the audio being "Till I Found Her." And it shows Sakura, who, you know, we all hope is going to be the end of girl content because they stay together and live happily ever after, and there's a big wedding which you all get to watch. But yeah, now the lore is better if you know, because this is the first time him and Sakura ever meet, which was completely random. So that's just another if you know you know. This is an edit where even if you know basically nothing, you get informed of what the plot of the whole thing is and you want to know more. But also, the more you know about the lore, the more you can appreciate. It is the story of a streamer who goes through the highs and lows of being a parasocial content farmer to finally finding the girl of his dreams by doing it. And there's no fancy editing in this. It's very simple and it's just a good audio choice. So you see what I mean by good plot. It's delivering on the premise of the source material, which is this romance, while also summarizing the stakes of the story, and giving a good payoff in the form of the girl that is presumably the answer to the question of what the lyrics are proposing. This isn't like Tekken combo difficulty levels of mechanical editing skill. There's just good color correction and the opacity effect at the end, but besides that, this edit is pure good story told in simple visuals and good audio selection. My point is, if you know how to cut up videos and put them over the right lyrics and you can pick good audio, that is already anywhere from a not bad to potentially banger edit. Now, since we're already here, let's just go over some edits that had good ideas but meh execution. Okay, so an audio that blew up recently that I have very, very strong opinions of is Charlie XCX Party For You. This is the song that goes like, I only threw this party for you, I was hoping you would come through, wait for you by the window, called your digit, phone kept ringing, party on you, you know that one. It's on that like great Gatsby timing of going or throwing a party in hopes that the person that you like pulls up and, you know, you get to hang out. Or if you're a really creepy yearner, you know, you just stare at them from across the room and be too scared to have a conversation. But point is, it's the excitement but also the lingering sadness of anticipating someone's presence. And the payoff of the song, which I think is the fun part of the edits, is the bit which, when you just look at the lyrics, it looks like it's spamming the lyrics, party on you, party on you, party on you, party on you, party on you. Now, kind of contentious point among bisexual women on TikTok, but one I believe is a fact is the one where if you actually listen to the song, it sounds like party on you, part of you new, party on. It's, you know, a 3-part story. Party on you. All this entire event, all this effort is for one person so that you can see them. Then part of you knew. This lyric could go anywhere, but it's always that sad part of yearning. You know, the part of you that knew that it could have worked out, or that you knew that they're not coming, or that you knew that you just have this feeling that this is not something you'll ever move on from. But whatever the case, you just keep partying on, because what else can you do? If you don't have that take, fair enough. But we can at least agree that this last portion is the part of the night where you get hit by the alcohol and emotions all at the same time, and you have to sit with yourself for a moment, really feeling things, really just like going through it, then proceed to get absolutely shit-faced smashed to forget about it. So the only edits that are valid to me are not necessarily exactly what the song says, like partying and then feeling like all the emotions and then partying again to forget about them. It doesn't have to be that, but rather going from putting all the effort in to realizing that it all falls apart. So the edits of the horror story pieces of media like Normal People and La La Land, you know, romantic pieces where the characters did all of this. They put in all this effort. They only threw this party for you in an attempt to make it work between them, only to realize at the end that it falls apart and it doesn't end with them together for whatever reason. If you're not a romance watcher, let's do sports. This edit by What the Helly Burton on TikTok of the Golden State Warriors celebrating their win. Once upon a time, they were the best team in the world, led by Stephen Curry, and if you don't know him, he's the guy that can hit threes from like your mom's freaking garage, wherever he wants, outer space, anywhere. His dynamic duo was Klay Thompson, and together they were the Splash Brothers, a duo that both had the potential to take over games either on their own or even deadlier together. But recently, they've been falling apart, and as the edit shows, Klay was traded to another team, so the duo is broken up. This is pretty decent edits. Like, good points for creativity and genre shift, taking a commonly romantic audio and using it in a way that is, you know, sports. They go from, we did all this, we won all these championships, and we played so good together, only for them to not be able to do that anymore because they had to get traded. So they just kind of have to sit with what could have been and what they knew they were together before. While that's not exactly the meaning of the song, it is the vibe, it is the energy that the song's lyrics bring. So it's pretty good. Also, if you feel bad for Klay Thompson, don't. Oh, look at me, I'm Klay Thompson. I have like freaking 4 rings. I'm dating Megan Thee Stallion. Anyway, and now that that's established, I can finally talk about the fact that people be using this song wrong, okay? If you put the repeating part of Party on You over something happy, that is a fundamental misuse of the song. Yes, I know the lyrics say partying and that's like fun, but that's not the energy of the song. You know what? Here. Okay, so back to Jakura edit. This one by SNS Dop Clips. Like, okay, I get what they were going for. It starts out with the I only do this party for you, and then it shows these two. So, okay, lore. Jason and the girl from earlier, Sakura, are having this like budding puppy love romance. On stream, they haven't really hung out a lot, but when they do, they have this insane chemistry, and she's been invited to a party that Jason's org is throwing for 4th of July. Now, they're both in LA at the time, but Sakura lives in Canada, and she's been saying the whole time like, oh, she has to go back soon. It's gonna be before the party. So if she decides to go, this is as close as we're gonna get for Party on You, you know? You don't go home just yet so that you have the opportunity to hang out together, right? So in the clip, Sakura kisses Jason, and it's that OMG moment. This is the cause for celebration. This is the party for you that worked. But at the point where the sad part hits, it keeps playing like happy stuff. It just plays through the whole clip. So I think the visuals and the plot are a bit disconnected. Now, even though I hold the belief that the beginning lines are happy anticipation yearning, then the ending lines have to be sad yearning, I won't discredit the edit for trying to do something. When the lyrics of Party on You, Party on You, Party on You happens, I'm just wondering what we're trying to convey. I will say, I still think this latter part could have been framed differently if different clips were used. So after the kiss, Sakura and Jason proceed to not hang out for almost the rest of the stream. They have like just another 6-minute segment out of Jason's like 6-hour stream, and that's because they were waiting till all the cameras turned off to hang out so they could actually enjoy their time together without, you know, the pressure of internet weirdos. So if we perhaps reframed it as the first and third line of Party on You and Party on, this was a way for them to hang out, but it's also the fact that they were waiting till after the cameras turned off. So in the meantime, while we wait for our time together, you know, we can just party on. Then the second line, Part of You Knew, can be reframed as they know that they're going to have their time together, you know, so all they have to do is wait. Part of you knew that we're eventually going to spend time together. We just need to finish streaming. See what I mean? But I do still think that the edit is a bit hard to convey because the clips aren't as good for what I just suggested. So now, I'm only really judging this one because the person that made this edit took a suggestion from the comments, which aligns with my take of going from happy yearning to sad yearning. And one of the comments suggested that it cut to Jason's ex-girlfriend. Now, yes, this is an evil edit. Should this person burn in parasocial hell? Probably. But as a critic, I will be bringing it up. Yes, cancel me like Film City for bringing up that Angel AI Evangelion ripoff. But anyway, so the start of this is the same clips, but in the part of like the party on you repeating, it switches to Eugen, Jason's ex-girlfriend. Now, this is the energy I wanted, right? Happy yearning, sad yearning. But I still think the switch is a bit too weak. I get the narrative of I did all of this effort for this new girl, but part of me always thought it would be you. I get it. I just feel like it wasn't teased well enough in the opening. Like, this is just a pure shock factor edit. It's still maybe around the passing grade, but I think that is like the peak of this idea for this edit in particular. I think a good execution of Jakura and Party For You is this one by Jefferson Clips on TikTok. So, more lore. The reason these two are hanging out is because Jason needed a date to streamer prom. Yes, grown-ass adults going to prom. Anyway, this is, what Party On You is about. Here's literally a party. This is a prom that I can use as a reason to hang out with you. The sad part is, okay, so this is gonna take more explaining. So as you do platonically for prom, Sakura and Jason got each other's initials painted on their nails. So she got the J and he got an S. Very platonic. Okay, yeah, we get it. Now, Sakura is a huge troll, so she was messing with Jason's cameraman John the entire time. And her final troll was to say that the J isn't for Jason, but for John. This resulted in Jason crashing out and the vibe of the night getting super awkward. Don't worry, they're very fine now. But anyway, that's Party On You. That is the vibe that I want. That's the sad, yearning part of Party On You, Party On You, Party On. They still had to be at the prom while crashing out. But then there's the part of you knew, Jason is mad for a reason because part of him knew maybe there could have been or currently is something that's really there and he's hurt by her trolling. But then party on. The show has to go on. They have to keep streaming, they have to keep being entertaining. That's really good utilization of the song. Okay, one last Jakura bit. Do y'all editing Jakura to Deja Vu know what the song is about? Like, I get that Sakura loves Olivia Rodrigo, but are we listening to the lyrics? Do you call her Almost Say My Name? Because let's be honest, we kinda do sound the same. I mean, S stands for Sakura, but S could also be a lot of S's that Jason has hit on. Another actress, I hate to think that I was just your type. Yeah, Jason has fake rizzed a lot of streamers and influencers. Another streamer, another influencer like Sakura is, and I hate to think that I was just your type. Now I bet you even tell her how you love her in between the chorus and the verse. So when you gonna tell her that we did that too, she thinks it's special, but it's all reused. Brothers, are we listening to what the lyrics are being said? I know Jason has made like 4 songs for Sakura, but it's a move he pulls with so many other girls. He legit tells all of them he loves them in between the chorus and the verse. He made so many songs. When are you gonna tell her that you did that too? It's reused Riz line. Like, only Miggy's edit is valid. Like, only the things that are like it are valid because the only lyric is, do you get deja vu when she's with you? And it's flashes of them, shots that are very similar. Like, that's, you know what? Fine. It's, I'll take it, But if you include any of the other lyrics where Olivia Rodrigo is comparing her ex-boyfriend and Sabrina Carpenter's relationship, saying, hey, we did all that, you're not special, girly. Like, just listen to the lyrics, lads. Please, the song is not about them. Unless, of course, you're this guy trying to push an evil agenda, in which case this is the perfect song because this was actual super villain behavior. To go from them singing Deja Vu to the Sakura kiss scene to cutting up the Eugen kiss scene so it looks like it's like a similar frame, that's, ooh, you know what? Bad man you are. But the shot was there and you took it. You deserve eternal damnation though. Okay, I'm in an angry rant mood now. Why are there so little hurt by Johnny Cash edits? Y'all know this one? This is the one that plays in the background of the best trailer ever, Logan. Like, it's the one that's like, I hurt myself today to see if I still bleed. It's peak. It's an old man reflecting on how he up his life. Look at the lyrics. Fun fact, this is a cover and the OG is by 9 Inch Nails, who was a lot younger when he sung it, so it sounds like a young man throwing his life down the drain by pissing it away to like addiction or something like that. Young mistakes. But when old man Johnny Cash sings it, the vibe becomes sad old grandpa ruminating the last moments of a broken life. It's such a good Logan song. Anyway, the only edits that aren't Red Dead Redemption 2 is this one to LeBron, which I get. He's old, he's retiring, he hasn't won a ring in a while, that's his empire of dirt, he's letting us down, he's hurting. And the last line of the song being, if I could start again a million miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way. It's him going from team to team and now his latest stint at the Lakers. That's pretty okay. But why the frick hasn't, this is the perfect edit to any sports person that has been injured, like heavily injured to the point where they can't continue their career and they just go on a downhill slide. Like NBA, like D Rose. Like, I'm not that big of an NBA fan. He legit hurt himself, and now he's seeing if he can still bleed. All the pain he struggled past to try to get back to the smidge of who he used to be, it could be so peak. I don't know if I have the ball knowledge to get the clips right to execute this edit, but like, if someone wants to take it, it's right there. Anyway, sidetrack. TLDR, choose good lyrics and you're halfway to making a good edit. Now, how do we go about finding songs that match? This is the, I won't say difficult, but hassle if you don't listen to a lot of music. This is really just bag work. But there are always other ways of making a strong story, which is adding the audio yourself. So this edit of Williams Racing by Beyond the Apex to Kendrick's TV Off, the lyrics are just alright. It's these lyrics over the Williams cars just slamming into walls and their drivers like tilting out. Being rational given what they asked for, I guess it's just like, you know, them crashing, it's irrational, I guess. Then the lyrics of them just aura farming is these. It's like, okay, whatever. It's just solid editing with a trending sound, but interjecting these two bits is their team principal saying, break everything. And that reframes everything to be the story about it's okay if your cars crash because we're trying to succeed. And that means testing our limits. And to find the limit, we have to just break everything. So the aura farm at the end is valid if the team can, you know, succeed like they want to. And I'm being so deadass when I say this is what got me invested in F1. Have you all watched an F1 race? Like, oh my god, yes! Car goes circle for 2 hours. The faster car made with more money was faster than the slower car made with less money. How could that be? Anyway, but this edit was my gateway because first off, it's just a cool edit, but it does serve as a summary. The team has been crashing out, but that's okay because they're trying to do something new. That's a good synopsis, but it got me asking, why did they need to try something new? And if you care, it's because Williams they suck. And they are the only team in F1 that has no backing. Like, they're purely just a racing team. You know, all of the other teams have sponsors or they're legit like car manufacturing companies. So Williams, in this world of supercars with big money, they are just some dudes. But my point is more just that by adding this extra piece of audio, you change the entire shape of the edit. So if you have an audio that you really want to use that you don't quite understand what the vibe is, you can make your own vibe by adding audio onto it. This works best with things without lyrics or things that are more like hip-hop, rap, R&B type things because those are the things that are more about beat sometimes. But there are also other ways to level up. Now, what I enjoy is when lines that flips the script. So, not to jerk myself off here, but in one of the Jakura edits I made, I had a few things in mind. So, Sakura has this clip.
I think if I don't like someone and I get the ick, then it'll just never, there's no recovery. But if you like someone and they give you the ick, low-key, you might just go, ugh, and then you just keep going kind of thing.
And Jason famously gives her a lot of icks. But she also has this clip of,
I get really icked out from PDA.
So, two things she hates that she does with Jason despite not being fond of them, as if to insinuate that there's something special about him, obviously. And I'm sure there are a lot of audios I could have used, but I thought Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer would be funny because the biggest PDA that she has done is to kiss him on the cheek in front of a lot of people. Here are the lyrics, you know, moonlit floor, silver moon sparkling, kiss me beneath the milky twilight, lyrics about it being at night, which a lot of the clips that I wanted to use because of the scene where this happened, it was night. But also, they have a lot of clips of dancing, and that's pretty these lyrics. But really, even before saying all that stuff about icks, she, as I said, kissed them in front of an audience because they were streaming. That's pretty PDA. So we get the final kiss me payoff and reframe all these icks as this kind of rom-com-y thing where all these icks are actually just fine. Because that's plot, I think. And ending with a big gesture is how rom-coms usually go. Right? Okay, what am I saying? Could I have done this video in like 5 minutes? Yes. Did I make this really long so I could just get some shit off my chest? Yes. If any of the people I flamed or complimented have a problem with what I say, let's start internet beef. That's how people blow up, right? Anyway, point I'm trying to say is if you don't have the mechanical skill to make a good edit, you can get practically carried by choosing good audio. Yes, it's a mental thing of how much knowledge of songs you have and the source material you have, but I think that's a lot easier to passively farm because you consume music and you consume the source material. You just have to remember it. That's not that hard. It's pretty fun to do if you're into that kind of thing. Also, by the way, if you want free game Like you can up the production quality by just learning how to color correct like one style and then pick a lighting overlay. The ones that have like a black background, so you can just change the opacity thing to, is it overlay or screen or what? I don't remember. It's one of those. I recommend bokeh, but I'm just gonna put it on screen, or lens flare, and just slap that overlay over anything, and it's like fake production value for zero effort. But okay, so all you really need to do is pick good audio and then cut the clips properly over the audio. If you want to get viewer retention, fast cuts equals good. That's just the general rule of thumb. Do I actually know what I'm talking about? Hell no. I've made like 5 edits, and that was in like the last month. But am I going to judge people? Yes. Did I go to art school for this? Yes. Did I learn how to do After Effects? Yes. Did I forget how to do it? Yes, unfortunately. So am I pure talking out my ass with zero experience? You would be correct. However, if people on this gas app can sit around and judge movies while having never picked up a movie camera in their life, I think that qualifies me to judge TikTok edits. If you have a problem with what I'm saying, I don't know. Can people at on TikTok? I don't have like a Twitter or anything that you can. You fight me in my YouTube comment section. That's good. Yeah, you know what? That's probably better. Fight me in the comment section. All right, that's all you gotta say. Bye bye.